This is That Guy Jig Sports Podcast. I am him, JIG. Subscribe, rate, and review. Amazon, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Check us out. And don't forget about the Instagram at That Guy Jig. The NBA playoff standings, they're done. There's no more of a race. The race is done. The marathon is over. We are here, folks. We are almost to that point where 16 wins get you to a championship. But they added this thing called the play-in. And I was a critic at first. Oh, it's just a money scheme. But with these matchups this year, I like it. It's kind of like one of those things where you say, it's all good until it happens to me. Well, this is the reverse of that because I thought it was shit until they gave us some good matchups. Tuesday is going to be some good basketball. And I think Wednesday, too, are the play-in games. But overall, we're going to have a Sacramento Kings and a Golden State Warriors matchup. We're going to have a Pelicans versus Lakers matchup, a Bulls and Hawks, and a 76ers and the Heat. That 76ers and Heat matchup is going to be very intriguing because Joel Embiid's just coming back from his injury. How healthy is Embiid? But like I've said before, the 76ers have played enough games. They've had enough basketball under their wing without Joel Embiid that they should be all right. Now the Miami Heat they're getting things together. As usual, I feel like this is the common thread with them. This is a common theme. Fiddle fart through the season, get a nice melody going towards the end, get everybody healthy, and then Jimmy Butler activates his playoff Jimmy mode, and then he goes nuclear, and they ride this wave through the playoffs. I feel like that's a common theme for the Miami Heat, and it's the same thing this year. But I think this year, more people will already be tuned in, so they won't get the Cinderella story because we all know what you're doing. You're playing possum. We get it. You sandbag. We understand what they do, and now the world does. But more so of what Miami does, it's more interesting to see what the 76ers would do with Joel Embiid. How healthy is Embiid? Because they're definitely a better team with him on the court. Make no bones about it. They know how to play without him. This is true. But when you're trying to have a championship run, when you want to make this team appealing to other superstars, this is going to be important. How effective is Joel Embiid going to be? How good are the 76ers going to be jailed in time for this play-in game? They're going to be at home, so you got that working in your favor. But at the same time, we understand and we know what the Miami Heat are during this time of the season. During this time of the year, throw standings and rankings out the window. Teams were hot that were not hot in the beginning of the season are now hot. Teams are now in rhythm. Teams are healthy now. We saw teams make moves. We saw teams bring guys in, cut people, change rotations, and we've seen people blossom into different versions of themselves because we are in the part where immortality is at stake, folks. To be a champion, you live forever. And everyone knows who won the champion. Who won the championships? We all know who won championships. No one cares about the great performers, and no one cares about second place. This is what's, and especially in basketball, man. Basketball is such a championship sport. How many times do we hear about, well, Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time because he won 6 championships. Bill Russell won 10 championships. LeBron James has won this many championships. Kobe Bryant, this many. Shaq champion. It's all about chips. You can't come to this party without chips, folks. When we're talking about the GOAT, when we are inviting the list to the GOAT list, we can't invite you if you don't have chips. Charles Barkley gets discredited and made fun of so many times because of what, folks? Not because of his skill. Not because of how he played the game. Not because of his weird takes. No, because he's not a champion. That's the only reason why people talk crap to him that are all other Hall of Fame, Shaq especially. Those the championship is that Carmelo Anthony has no chips. It's hard to be in a GOAT debate if you don't have chips. It's just the facts of life here, folks. Allen Iverson, he might have gotten a bigger statue had he got a chip. Let's talk about it. We got to have chips in basketball. Basketball is one of those sports where championships weigh differently. They are the great equalizer in conversation. And that's the part where we're at. You got to get a chip. So when we're in this championship run of window, the championship window the 76ers had, they waited how long to trust the process? Well, we have to keep building around the process, but how long is he going to be able to go? And then when we go to the other side, we have the Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. Now, this game, if Atlanta is healthy, I like them. If Trae Young is back and playing, which I haven't heard anything saying that he is. If Trae Young is playing, I like Atlanta in this game. Once again, Atlanta is one of these underachieving teams this year. If it wasn't for the play-in, we would be looking at a probably for sure overhaul of this roster. And that's the thing about the play-in. It takes away the pressure. See, because if an organization can aim for a 10 seed, then there's no pressure to blow it up at the end of the season. You take this team 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they end up missing the playoffs because they're a 10 seed right now. We are looking at a for sure roster overhaul. There is no, oh, well, maybe you can keep this guy. No, everybody's gone. Now, we understand that this offseason, Trae Young, Jonte Murray, who they tried to auction off to anybody and everybody, these guys will be gone. This is an end of a championship window. The Lakers, the Knicks, teams like that, the big market teams, Miami, they will come and poach these players. So it will be great to see them make a run. I do like them if they're healthy. If not, Chicago can make a run either way. The winner of this game is going to play the loser of the 7 and 8, and that's how the play-in works. The 9 and 10 loser is out, but the winner plays the 7 and 8 loser. The winner of the 7 and 8 gets the 7th seed, of course. When we go to the other side, the Wild West, we have the old versus the new. This was a great series the last time these two teams got together. I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. Golden State has been very productive towards the end of the season. Older starting lineup, veteran group of guys. This could be their last hoorah. This could be their last run. But as you look at the Golden State over the last month of basketball, these guys have played great basketball. They've gotten on a good win streak. Draymond Green has not kicked anybody. He hasn't punched anybody. He's talked a lot of shit. Gotten some technicals, but he hasn't gotten ejected, and that's a big part. I truly believe when Steph Curry was emotional, visibly, and was very commandative in his interview. For all the shit people talk about him not being a leader, I think that game in Orlando where he got kicked out changed the whole game, the whole flow of this season. And this team got better because Draymond Green got better. But this game right here is going to be a very good game. Golden State and Sacramento, mark it down. Going to be a good game. Once again, the winner of this game gets the loser of the 7 and 8. The 7 and 8 are the Pelicans and the Lakers. I do expect LA to win this game. If I'm a Laker, I want Denver early. I want them now. I want all of it right now because if you look at Denver and how they've been playing late, they choked away the first place lead. First and foremost, they choked that away. But Jamal Murray has been in and out of the lineup. And if you're going to get a team like Denver, if you're going to get a championship team like Denver, it's going to be early. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be done. But I'm saying if it's going to be done by the Los Angeles Lakers, they better do it early. Because if the Lakers think they're going to go through OKC and then go through a Clippers and Dallas series, either one of those winners, and then think they're going to beat the Denver Nuggets, you are high. And I would like you to pass that and ship it over here so that I can test and sample it and be on the same level and have the same type of just optimism as you. Because there's no way in Zeus's asshole the Lakers are going through an Oklahoma City team that was the number one seed in the West. And let's give a round of applause to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Very young team, number one in the West. First time in NBA history that there was a three-way tie between the top three teams with 81 games played. And the OKC Thunder came out on top. So they've earned this. So they've earned this right. They've earned this respect. So I'm giving them the respect they deserve. But if I'm a Los Angeles Laker, there's no way I'm looking at myself and saying, I'm going through the Thunder, I'm going to go through the Clippers or the Mavericks, and then meet up with the great Mountain Jokic with peaks of Jamal Murray and Mount Porter. Good luck. You're not beating that late. You're going to get them. If you're going to get them, you're going to get them early. But with these other matchups, the 4-5 out west, we had the Clippers and Mavericks. We know this is going to be an epic battle. These matchups were great. These matchups were absolutely phenomenal the last two series we've seen between these two. And they didn't even have Kyrie Irving involved. This is going to be an explosive series. Listen, the Dallas Mavericks might be the best team in the NBA over the last 30 games. If you just look at the overall, just look at the work. Look at what Jason Kidd has done down there, especially post All-Star break. Just look at the overall body of work of the Dallas Mavericks. At first, they said they couldn't defend, that this is not going to be conducive way to play basketball in the playoffs. The most important thing they've improved since All-Star break is their defense. They've gotten a lot better on defense. We know what Kyrie and Luka are going to do for you. Luka could be your MVP this year. I know he's not going to be the MVP, but if Luka was the MVP, no one would bat an eye. No one would be upset. I think Oklahoma City might be upset because they would feel like Shea would deserve it over him, especially with the Thunder being the number one seed. But overall, I don't think you can really disagree with the fact that the Mavericks have been one of the better teams of the NBA, if not the best team in the NBA since All-Star break. Luka and Kyrie, we know what they're going to give you. You know what they're going to get for you every single night. We just need about 7 to 8 threes from everybody else. If you can give me 12, we are going to go a very long way because the Dallas Mavericks have improved defensively. The Clippers got better because Russell Westbrook's back. Hopefully Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy and they can keep this thing going because, they have not extended Paul George. Paul George is going to probably walk during free agency. So this is probably, once again, another championship window we're looking at closing here. Overall, I do believe the Dallas Mavericks will win this series. I have Dallas winning this series. Like I said, Jason Kidd has been coaching his ass off, but overall, I just think the Mavericks have the best backcourt that we have seen in a very long time, if not the best backcourt of all time. When you look at just how the skill of Kyrie Irving, we know Kyrie Irving is known as having the best handles of all time. And you look at the skill of Luka offensively, it can't be denied. It can't be denied, and you have to understand that this is a dangerous backcourt. And once they get the other guys involved and the other guys give them that confidence, you have Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, two athletic, rim-protecting, rim-running centers. You have knockdown shooters on the wings. You got Kyrie Irving doing his post-up and doing his thing. Kyrie Irving is a 4-level scorer. Free throws, three-pointers, mid-range, layups, and if you add in the post, that's 5 layers. That's a 5-layer burrito. That's Kyrie Irving. He's a man of many layers. Now we look at the other matchup. We have the Timberwolves and Suns. This is going to be one of those series where we look at the Minnesota Timberwolves and we say these guys are for real. Because I think what they have the possibility of doing with Karl Anthony Towns returning to the lineup, they have a chance to put the whole NBA world and basketball world on notice. If Anthony Edwards beats the Phoenix Suns in 5 or less games, watch the hell out. The face of the NBA will now be painted. He will officially take over the face of the NBA if he beats them in 5 and less games. If he sweeps or gentleman sweeps the Phoenix Suns, the Timberwolves are destined to make that run. The first round matchups tell you a lot about a championship team, folks. Championship teams take care of business first round. They get the hell out of there so they can get that rest. Because like I said, the first round is where you get a lot of rest between games. 2 to 3 days between games sometimes. So if you can go ahead and get it done, you can get a nice rest. You can get healthy. So I look for a team like the Timberwolves to really take care of business against the Phoenix Suns and put the NBA on notice. But I'm also I'm also not drinking the Kool-Aid so much because I understand the Phoenix Suns have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant, make no bones about it, he is still Kevin freaking Durant. He is the Slim Reaper. We know what he can do. It's going to come down to Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. Can they be great every single night? Can Bradley Beal be great? Can he figure it out what they need him to do? I still like Minnesota in this series. Going out east, the Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm taking the Magic, and I'm going to tell you why. Donovan Mitchell does not want to be in Cleveland. I don't believe the Cavaliers want Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. I also know that the Magic play great defense. Excuse me. I know the Magic play great defense. This is a young team that's excited to be here. They've been rolling all year. I don't expect them to stop the party. I think they're gonna take care of business against Cleveland again. Cleveland will get eliminated in the first round again. And life goes on. The Pacers in Milwaukee, I'm going to say this, do not be surprised if the Pacers beat the Bucks. Giannis is hurt. His calf is hurt. He's going to have a little time before this series. They're already struggling with him being hurt. I don't expect this team to just miraculously get better with Giannis coming back off of an injury and sitting out. They just lost to the Orlando Magic by 20 plus to end the season. So I don't see them winning this series. This whole experiment with Doc Rivers has been nothing but a failure. For whatever reason, they let go of Adrian Griffin mid-season. For whatever reason, they went through the embarrassment of having their fired head coach not being able to coach the All-Star game. And they had to have Doc Rivers sub in. That's ridiculous. And this is what you get. This is the type of shit you get. Doc Rivers had one good season with the Celtics. And I like Doc. I like his basketball analysis. But the guy knows how to lose games. He knows how to lose games, and he's done nothing but lose games in Milwaukee. That's what they've done since he's been there, is lose games. They've won a couple here. They've won a couple there. They've done some cool shit. They showed you a light. But I'm here to tell you, Brook Lopez needs to go. Bobby Portis needs to go into the starting lineup. Brook Lopez needs to be traded for more shooting and more wing depth. You might even get rid of Chris Middleton too and get rid of that contract and bring in better wing players. He's hurt a lot. Availability is the best ability. Right now, you have Giannis and you got Dame. So what you have to do is make it to where you're in the championship run every year. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But there's a team that I want to tell you that they are all poised for an Eastern Conference final run, and that's the New York Knicks. I've said it. Jalen Brunson should be in the most improved conversation. I don't understand how he's not. Right now, they have Tyrese Maxey running away with it. I do not understand it. I think Jalen Brunson just broke the New York Knicks 30-point games in a season mark tonight. He has taken his points per game up by 4 points. He's also taken his team from the 5 seed to the number 2 seed. I don't understand how Jalen Brunson is not getting more love for most improved. It doesn't make any sense to me. You put Julius Randle, a healthy Julius Randle, on the New York Knicks right now, and we are definitely talking about a deep postseason run. But I'm here to tell you, those Villanova boys are going to get them on a deep playoff run. I'm almost willing to put a large sum of money on it. Because when you look at what the New York Knicks bring to the table, when you look at how they play basketball, this is what you need in today's NBA for a good run. Jalen Brunson should have been most improved. But people are also going to say Shai Gilgeous should have won MVP. But here the hell we are, folks. Here we are. It is playoff basketball. April 16th through the 19th. That is when we are all playing. The playoffs begin on 4/20. On 4/20, the NBA playoffs begin. The race for 16 begins. And once again, this is That Guy Jig Sports Podcast. I am him, JIG. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe, rate, and review. And we are going to keep it coming. We're going to keep it coming, keep it going. NBA playoffs are here. This is the best time of the NBA. This is when shit gets serious. The friendships are out the window. Once again, subscribe, rate, and review. Thanks. Peace.